Sunday Evening Essentials meteorologist Matt Noyce, 1 degree outside. Weather Network getting you ready for the week ahead. This tends to be a little bit more of a robust kind of deep dive like we do in our Insights videos during the week. On a Sunday, I like to give you everything you need to know. But just a reminder, if you just want to get the simple forecast and all the details on that, just grab the app. It's totally free. It's 5 stars. It's on the App Store and Google Play. You're going to do a search for 1 degree outside weather. All right. Meanwhile, many of you say, how do we support what you do? A lot of what we do is free. We thank every one of you who are members, membership.onedegreeoutside.com. You can find a level just right for you. If you just want to give us a little bit of support and nothing more, fuel the forecast, everything else has some exclusive content that you open the door to as well. Nice quiet evening. It does get cool again tonight. Average low in New England goes down to about 34 degrees. The wind is light. The air is dry. That contributes to the cooling. You can find where you're going to be, but most of us are getting down certainly cold enough to get a little frosty. And then when you get into some of the sheltered valleys, we are cold enough for a freeze, much of northern New England cold enough for a freeze tonight. And tomorrow's classic autumn air. I mean, it is cool stuff. It is cooler than normal, high temperatures in the 40s and 50s for most of us. Now, the wind is going to start out of the north during the course of our Monday. Gradually, it comes out of the northeast and east deeper into the week that we get. That has an impact off the ocean. But notice even your Monday night low temperatures for many, except for where the north wind comes off the ocean, will be running in the 30s all over again. In terms of the prediction on clouds and precipitation, look, during the course of Monday, you'll start with sun. You do find a number of clouds bubbling up. We've got an upper level storm that's parked off to the east. There's a lot of energy in our sky that does promote a number of clouds to develop during the course of the late morning, the midday, the afternoon. Some sprinkles or a quick light shower, not only in the Cape, but actually a possibility for many of us, noticed by late in the day into the early evening for that matter as well. So it's a brisk day, and as the sun disappears, if you're going to be working outside for a while, it does feel cool, especially if you get that quick shower that comes through. The clouds will tend to melt away during that cool night Monday night, although Tuesday, as the wind starts to come more northeasterly, there'll be more clouds. It'll be kind of a solid matter when you get across southeast portions of Massachusetts, including the Cape and the Islands. And notice by Tuesday evening, the marine clouds are spreading in. We think Wednesday, the marine deck is very much in place. So what about precipitation? Well, look, for a little while, there's not a lot of it. We looked at the scattered showers that come through here in the latter portion of Monday. They melt away Monday night. But notice as we get out toward the midweek, we've got the storm, Melissa, the hurricane, we'll look at that in a moment, down to the south. That's going to cross Cuba while we get ready for our own storm development. There's a primary storm coming in from the west, but a new coastal storm develops and moves almost right over us as we head into Thursday. Thursday is the day of greatest rain and wind. I think that talk of a merger between the hurricane and the storm were greatly exaggerated and over-dramatized, which is why you didn't really hear a lot of that from us. Now, will there be a little moisture that feeds in from Melissa? Sure, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment. But lock, stock, and barrel, the energy stays way out over the ocean. Here is the impressive Hurricane Melissa, a major and catastrophic hurricane that's taking aim on Jamaica. Very, very rare to have any type of a major hurricane track right across Jamaica, but that does appear to be what's going to be happening over the next 2 days. So a catastrophic situation, unfortunately, setting up down there. The forecast on the storm to go to a Cat 5, make the curl to the northeast, come right across the tiny island of Jamaica, and from there, cross over the eastern tip of Cuba as we get to midweek. Notice the center of that storm continues to move off to the northeast. Bermuda, right at the center of the cone of probability. That'll be watched very carefully as well, although the storm will be a shadow of its former self in terms of its strength by the time it gets that far along. Here's what I mean about it. If you look at the atmospheric energy, yep, you can see it, really intense stuff in the purples that you see coming up over Jamaica, right? But as we go through, yes, there's a lot of energy over us. There's the upper level storm I told you about. There's the new one that's coming in. But where does the energy of Melissa go? Stays way out over the ocean. There's no direct interaction that goes on with the core of energy from that storm. Where you do get a little interaction is with moisture. This is a forecast of the predicted amount of moisture in the atmosphere. You can obviously see where the ton of tropical moisture is with the storm, right? So here comes our own disturbance digging in. There's not a lot of moisture with it at first. We do grab some coming out of the Bahamas, but see that little feed that tries to come in off of the tropical system as we head into Thursday, late day, evening, and night, and then continues to move along from there. The thought process on this is it will enhance our rain in the later part of Thursday and into Thursday night in particular, and then that will continue to move on by so that even by Friday, you've got a drying wind that comes into play. Your wind is starting to come out of the southwest and out of the west. And notice that little feed of moisture continues to travel off to the east. So in terms of total amount of precipitation, actually, when you add it all up for this week, it's a pretty good shot that comes in on Thursday. So total rainfall amounts of either side of 2 inches certainly do seem to be a likelihood for us in New England. We'll take what we can get. The farther north you go, maybe a little bit removed in northern Vermont, but many of us getting a pretty good dose. Obviously, the waves are going to be churned up, right? Two reasons for that. You've got the onshore wind, plus you've got the storm going by to the southeast. So with the onshore wind, we start to build the waves by Tuesday afternoon to between 4 and 6 feet in our nearshore waters. They continue to build as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Thankfully, the astronomical tide is not that high. So what that means is you're not looking at a big coastal flood situation. There may be some splashover. There may be some minor coastal flooding toward the latter half of the week, and we'll keep you posted on that. It does not look to be a major situation right now. Again, with that northeast wind setting up, it's going to be kind of raw. Tuesday's highs 40s and 50s. By Wednesday, 40s and 50s again. By Thursday, almost an easterly and perhaps for a little while later Thursday, a southeasterly wind as the storm center kind of lifts right overhead, but still temperatures are only in the 50s, and that's about the best that we're going to do. I can tell you by Friday, as that wind shifts and swings around, some colder air starts to spill in for the hilly terrain, most of us still in the 50s. We are streaming all the time. It is New England's first and only weather network. 1degreeoutside.live is where you'll find it on the web or on your smart TV. Open the YouTube app and do a search for 1 Degree Outside Network. Of course, it's linked right at the top of our app as well. That's how your Sunday evening essentials are looking. We will see you again early on Monday morning, and of course, with another deep dive for Monday Insights over the course of the day.